It was like foreplay. Okay. I mean, that's one way to frame it, but yeah, it was kind of like, you know, you had to butter them up. So let's watch the clip right here. I've watched it like 10 times and I don't feel like watching it anymore, but we'll play it one more time and you guys can see what it was like. We are living in the greatest time to be alive. Okay, I'm going to roast myself during this as well, too, because there are some mistakes that I make. So first of all, that quick hi, Jensen, that was nervousness and over. I was supposed to be like, hi, Jensen, my name is Amit. Normally, I was like, hi, Jensen. I was like, did I just turn into like what? Hi, Jensen. Like, where did that come? I don't know where it came from, but that was how I started it off. Hi, Jensen. Thanks for taking. Dude, what is that? Hi, Jensen. What is that, bro? Like, that was also like, this is why it's kind of cringe watching this back now. But anyway, let's get to it. Hi, Jensen. Thanks for Cookie Monster. It sounds like the Cookie Monster. Oh my gosh. Take my question. My name is Amit. I run.
Hanging out with you guys, it's really fun, actually.
So that was the first interruption, right? So I'm like, all right, let me get through this. My name is Amit. Like, hanging out with you guys is fun. I don't know why he did that at that moment. I don't know if he knew me and he knew like he wanted to take this question. There are some people saying that he knew you and like that's why he was more friendly and he wanted to take the question. There's other people saying that he was just being. I have no idea why he interrupted right there. But look, now I have to react. I have to like follow through and like I have to be able to keep it going and keep the vibe okay. Thanks for taking my question. My name is Amit. I run.
Hanging out with you guys, it's really fun, actually.
We're having fun too. This is, we are living in the greatest time to be alive with a company that is pushing the limits at every level. It is fascinating every morning that I get to wake up and analyze your company. I learned a YouTube account next. So I think that already, on his interruption, I followed up with the, it is really fun because we get to talk and analyze, the greatest company in the world. So I think maybe that already got him to respect how I answered the interruption to keep the flow a little bit more friendly and less formal. And my audience is primarily retail investors. Now, my business has exponentially increased over the past 5 years because your company has exponentially increased, and there's just a lot of news to cover every single day. And
we brought a lot of retail investors into the world.
So that was actually a good interruption. That one, I was really happy when he said that because I was like, oh, like warming up a little bit, I was like as soon as he said that, like, because he also has to feel comfortable enough to interrupt me. And again, he's Jensen. He can interrupt anyone he wants. But the point is, like, the fact that he wanted to make that statement right there was good because it means he's like on board now with what the question possibly will be aligned with, which is this concept of retail investors, given I introduced that's who my audience was. Yeah, and a lot of retail investors have, quite frankly, created generational wealth because of trusting in your vision.
Thank you.
See, and then he says, thank you. So again, we're talking about buttering it up before the question, right? So people are like, oh, you took too long to get it out there. Well, first of all, it's 48 seconds and we had 3 interruptions right here. But I think all interruptions were followed with something that got the conversation to feel more friendly. And then when he said thank you, he was acknowledging that the affirmation of the retail investor changing their life because of trusting in NVIDIA, which I think it set up the ability for me to take a little bit more time to ask the question. I do a live stream every morning in the morning and in the afternoon. Okay, so now this was the part that I hated the most. I did not want to say I do a live stream every morning. That was stupid to say. I wanted to say on NVIDIA earnings, I do a stream and we have thousands of people across the world that join because I wanted to make it very hyper specific to, hey, when we stream about your company, when we do a show, when we cover your company, lots of people join. I got interrupted 3 times, so I kind of lost a little bit of my groove, even though like we kept the conversation going. And I ended up saying I do a stream because I thought maybe in the heat of the moment that would be the segue for me to be able to say that we do an earnings stream as well. In reality, that's too long-winded. You don't need to say that. But that part I was annoyed by. And then the other part I was annoyed by was this. Let's listen to this part one more time. Well, because of trusting in your vision.
Thank you.
I do a live stream every morning in the morning and in the afternoon. Okay, so this was the part I hated about. I do a live stream every morning in the morning. That was the part where I was annoyed. I was like, you just said in the morning. Then you have to say in the morning again. I kind of lost my words right there. So he's like, no, I do a stream. I didn't have to say I do a morning stream in the morning. But that was the only hiccup of the question that I was really annoyed by. Again, I can't do anything about it. But that was kind of stupid. Well, because of trusting in your vision.
Thank you.
I do a live stream every morning in the morning and in the afternoon, talking about the market. We also talk about NVIDIA every day. When you guys have earnings, we have 25,000 people across the entire world get on one stream to listen to you talk for an hour. Every quarter for the past couple of years, you guys have seemed to beat and raise expectations. Expectations that are very hard to beat and raise. And sometimes Wall Street recognizes it, sometimes it doesn't. My question is more philosophically, how do you deal with the pressure of running the world's largest company, a company that a lot of people are saying should be larger than what it is today, and being able to continuously beat those expectations, knowing that it's not just the average bank that owns your stock, but it's the average retail investor who really does believe that this company is a lot further. Okay, I'll play his response in a bit, but it's a pretty long response, and he goes in a variety of directions. But that was the extent of the question. And the reason I'm being so hypercritical here is because this is what I do, right? Communication is what I do. So it's not about being insecure. It's not about being scared. It's about like, this is like
game tape, right? You have to watch the game tape. You have to microanalyze it at a very high level. If I can critique other podcasters like I did in the past with their, let's say, subpar interviews with very big guests, then I should be able to critique myself. And I should be my biggest critic if I mess up. So, but that was the only hiccup I really felt. The only hiccup was that whole I do a morning stream because I'm not like, what the fuck do I look like marketing myself here? Like, again, my whole philosophy is give, not take. So I don't need to promote myself there. It was a segue to get to the NVIDIA stream phrase that I want to say, but I lost my wording. And so it came out like that and it was kind of awkward. But outside of those like 10 seconds, I think the actual question was good as the SPY hits 690. Why does the market always go up when I start ranting, dude? It happened last Sunday. I think the question was good, and I think the foundation of it was friendly enough to get Jensen into his zone to actually answer the question. But I do think it's important to be hypercritical of it. Now, the people that said it was glazing, I was like, I don't know what you want. Like, yeah, I'm gonna glaze the freaking 9th richest guy in the world who has created massive amounts of wealth opportunity. This entire bull market over the past 3 years would not have happened without Jensen. I'm like, I think it's also about like Jensen Huang is not going to be here one day, and like the fact that I was privileged enough to be able to ask him a question, like, yeah, I'm gonna give the guys flowers. Like, 20 years from now, I'm not going to look back saying, oh, I asked Jensen about Taiwan. I'm gonna look back and saying, oh, I asked Jensen, how does it feel like to be a CEO that has the entire world's GDP on your shoulders, and how do you deal with that? Like, and if that requires a bit of quote unquote glazing, like, okay, but I just think that's such an elementary form of analysis when we're talking about like the life cycle of what my brand represents for that question. You know, if I was some Bloomberg reporter that studied Taiwan, that's a whole different. But like, I'm a retail investor, so. As Davis says, boring ass question. And like to be fair, it was a boring question for a lot of people. I'm sure there's a bunch of people in that audience that didn't care about me asking what does it feel like to deal with the pressure. But they care about stupid shit. They care about NVIDIA H200 is going to China, and there's nothing Jensen is going to say that's different. Like, all those reporters were stupid, in my opinion, in terms of the question they asked. Because what can he say? It's up to the CCP. Like, and he already said everything the day before in the first press Q&A. So what do you want? Like, at this point, you're just fishing for him to say new things that you might be able to get a headline on, that you might be able to get clicks on, like the Reuters guy did with the Trump connection. I mean, some of these questions were just so embarrassing. I'm like, I'm not going to ask an embarrassing question. I'm going to ask a question that acknowledges how much he's done for us. And in a world in which everyone's concerned about H200 is going to China, then no one knows exactly when or how that's going to happen, including Jensen. And if he did, he damn sure is not just going to tell you. Like, that question to me is not as valuable as the question about what it means to build a company. Davis says, I never glaze a CEO like that. You glaze me though, Davis. I don't know what you mean by that, but no, in general, I do think the question hopefully resonated with the masses more than like a super specific question about the technology. But yeah, that's it. I think the two takeaways were, again, give more than you take. S&P getting a little red candle right there from 690, and sometimes good things happen to you. And then when you get the opportunity, you got to step up. All right, his response. Let's listen to that as well.
Well, first of all, I don't do it by myself. I've got an amazing team around me, and they help shoulder the responsibility. There's no question that NVIDIA today has great influence in the world's technology industries, the supply chains, and the end markets. But what comes with that also is great responsibility, and we take it very seriously. And of course, one of the things that we could do, one of the primary things we could do is to build the best technology the world's ever seen. And by doing so, not only do we stay relevant ourselves, all of our partners continue to succeed, but we also ensure that AI advances in a way, that continues to scale. If AI continues to get smarter, we'll use it we'll be able to use it more productively. That continues to scale. If we drive the cost down, that continues to scale. If we drive energy efficiency up, that continues to scale. And so all of that comes along with technology, and that's our first responsibility. The second part of it is to make sure that we have a rich ecosystem of other companies that are benefiting from this industrial revolution, which is the reason why I'm always on stage with a CEO Sunday. Isn't that right? And every single day. Today I was on stage with Roland Bush, the CEO of Siemens, and we're partnered with Siemens across a whole bunch of different sectors of their software. They're the largest industrial software company in the world, and they're just about in every single factory and every single industry. And we were working together to bring AI and revolutionizing how factory automation is done altogether. Everything from acceleration of software to physical AI to AI physics to omniverse digital twins. The work that we're doing there is really broad. And so we need to, the second part of our responsibility is to bring everybody along. And our partnerships with Snowflake and ServiceNow, Palantir, Cadence, Synopsys, Siemens, you name them. We want to make sure that everybody comes along. And so So I think this the resilience of the industry is going to be stronger if we're not singular, but somehow this network of ecosystems around the world is moving along with the technology. And so there's a couple of different things that we do, but in the final analysis, we have to keep doing our job and keep beating the quarter and raising the quarter.
Thought it was a great response. He had a lot of different directions to that, but at its core, he said we have to keep doing our job. Notice the lack of selfishness in two areas. Number one, Jensen says it's not me. I don't do it by myself. So immediately his first thing is like, you can't give me all the credit. You have to acknowledge the team that is behind NVIDIA. And then number two, he says we have to bring everyone together. If we want this to work, everyone has to win in this industry. Dude, this guy, he's not saying a peep, but his comments in this chat are incredible. So Jensen is humble, unlike you. Yes, exactly. But we have to bring everyone along for the ride to push AI forward. And, this is a team effort to make this happen. I thought it was a great answer. And I personally think he enjoyed answering that question. And again, I just think there's a time and place for everything. And I think maybe that was, the question where it was a better time and place to be able to ask. So big talk from Amit's bed. Well, that's fair. Technically, it's his bed. 2 beds here, guys. There's 2 freaking beds. It's not one.